Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Chuempala. Elias Munsha here. Thank you for joining us on TV Bakwetu. I think Chuempala time is about 21:50. I'm very happy that I could come live to you from my home office here in Calgary, Alberta. It was such a great time to be in Zambia, and here we are in Canada, and yet we are still able to come live and chat with you for a bit. With me here tonight are several of our friends, the greater TV Bakwetu family. I have our resident pharmacist as usual, Mr. Jerome Kanika. Mr. Kanika, how are you doing?
Thank you, Councillor, and good evening.
I think you've muted yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm okay now. Thank you, Councillor, and good evening, the viewers. It's good to see you in your office back. Yeah, where things happens, where PF was beaten. What's happening? Hello?
Yes, sorry about that. I think we got a little technical issue there. And what happened here, you were saying that this is where PF did what?
Yeah, it's good that you are here you are there in your office where PF was beaten pants down, light, left, center. I think if PF are watching us, I think they are very much now upset seeing you in that office because they don't like that office, Mamunja. You need to be careful.
Now, this is at home, but my usual blue office, I think we are going to be on it this week sometime. But my blue office is there. I already been there, and it's all good. So we are going to use the blue office soon. But this is the other office. So I'm very excited that that we're going to have a very frank discussion today regarding cabinet. I want you to give me your speculation. I don't think General is going to make it tonight because he's probably attending to some other things. But I want us to speculate a little bit about the cabinet picks that President Hakainde Hichilema is going to do, and then have a discussion about that for a little bit. But I've got to introduce again Dr. Jones Kasonso. Vakasonso, Muchibiebi.
Why?
Twakosa Byonkabyo.
We miss you on this side. Go to Javrongo.
I also missed you as well. Now tell me, the Mlemena Kaonde, the Kaonde that the Mlemena boys sing, is that genuine? Are they like second speakers of Kaonde?
No. My maternal grandmother, actually, they are cousins with Emmanuel Mlemena. So,
boys, not Emmanuel.
That's my father's mother. You know, so they sing genuine Kikaonde. And, you know, the language is not Kaonde; it's Kikaonde.
Professor.
Yes.
I meant the Mlemena boys, not Emmanuel Mlemena. The Mlemena boys. So the album that comes after the passing of Emmanuel Mlemena, is that genuine Kikaonde, or they're like second speakers of Kikaonde?
No, they were all disciples of Mlemena. So the Mlemena boys sing the proper Kikaonde.
Okay.
Kikaonde.
So are you ready, Professor, to speculate on the cabinet picks? Because that is what we want to talk about today. We are not talking about Sean Zero anymore, because Sean Zero's story is over. So now we want to talk about something else, not Sean Zero. Sean Zero's story is over. So we want to speculate on the cabinet picks.
Yeah, but my style of speculation might be slightly different because it might not involve names.
Okay. So what kind of speculation is that without names? Nishi twala umfashan.
Inenari kere panshi sona sa tontonkanya ponjewele kwe nanga nari musa pato shabaka teka. Ngena jenga mu kipona pa ikara wampumu. Who can I select and why? And you know, with my little experience, and you know, I've gone through a lot of cabinet picks, both at home and abroad, and different stuff. And you know, I'm a student of history also. And also, I had vested interest. I said, okay, who should we advocate that he should pick? And so far, I even created a little video. Said golden rules for cabinet picks, 10 golden rules for cabinet picks. But I will not breathe all of them in one presentation. But I'll tell you just 2, 3 of them. Number one, I expect him to pick his foot soldiers. Foot soldiers are people that suffered with him in the trenches. Okay. When he went to Zera and they were exchanging stones with PF, who was there? Though that should be the cabinet. When he was being picked up and wrapped up on the road from me.
I want to get you very well. What you were saying is the first preference should be his foot soldiers. Now,
yes, that is the government who elected. Baketo Angela. You know, those are the people who have suffered for us. When he was when he came from this Kuomboka ceremony, and the driver and the group refused to budge, and they arrested him for treason, who was there in that group? Those are the people I expect to be the cabinet. Not much chances, Vapalasti, former PF or Bashanu. iyi cabinet ba PF tabafuiri okuba mutwala abali ababishi tabafuiri okuba mu ba PF inomba bengire kona bera mu opposition bofuwa kwa ma politics echi opposition ifo yashu. So the first group of people I expect are the foot soldiers, the guys who suffered with him. I am very happy, in fact, of the vice president, because the vice president has been there with him. Bale na helicopter muku campaign kumwabo. Amabwe yalevo yapufa kuponya helicopter. Amabwe yafuwa kuponya helicopter. Those are the people who should be in government. The first priority are his foot soldiers. Stumbeko Musawatwana was his foot soldier. Walia at press at State House, he was a foot soldier.
Right.
That is the government we've elected. The first group of people are his foot soldiers, the people who have suffered with him, abuse, accusations.
What about this argument that is being advanced? The argument that is being advanced that he needs to look elsewhere, including the PF. What do you think?
No, elsewhere, yes, but excluding the PF. Kabila watu wafunyapo wa mambala. Mamba kwa kairu kwa kwekesha. Bayaba bachibanga bachisa pa bashuka kuba fono kulanda. Kwena chicho mwachulile, echo muvule, badaba tufumo twakuiba, indala mashama cha inishi, echo mwewe takabili weso wewe ntungulushi. Echo mkane. Yeah, so my first pick, the foot soldiers.
Right.
By UPN Dinkonko. By UPN Dinkonko, bafire bateka, nishta yabo ino. Bali fichudila. Nama late campers bonse bafire babwesha kweche mfupanshi. Wali kwaba nabo abanyanti before butabalanyanta. Those people understand personally the intrinsic dream of the president.
Yeah.
They also have the correct view of his abilities.
Right.
They also have correct motivation for why they did what they did. So, but it can't end there. So I just said I'll run through three. The first are the foot soldiers. The second, Babule Poemisepela. Babule Poemisepela Ishibikwa. The Misepela doesn't have to be cabinet level, but it would be a very powerful and symbolic gesture. Ngatwaisa munafe chimusepele chimwa ichina bachita nominate bamba no kuchifunde bya kuteka. Na bachipela kwa kapoto kwa bati na ole tungula kutoka kuchita mentor apa no kuchita director, so that they can have direct communication from cabinet to the new generation of voters. To the new generation of voters. And the third part, Nimu Alliance. Muma alliances. The alliances is where there is a platform to incorporate Bariabantu. Abachitire palast baponyo to sote bonse babiko to sote panch bebereao kateka nyuyu. And those are going to help to unite the country. That the pocket should be fished into for the purposes of uniting the country. And also prior government experience or professional experience and all of those kind of things. So just to get started, maybe I would revise my points. My first is the foot soldiers. Ave never UPN Dinkonko. Bafire bakwato tukota mwebantu. Bati asana bali chobali bapuma sana. Nama relatives bali babikapo na pama ama relatives bali po na pama antoanika ne retirement in national interest chane na be na nomba kesi kabese batobe ko supu ya msivo service. So no kuya bombela pamuna katika because very much. Batole kone misepera. Chigigi cha miseperechi. Ichi chigigi be shapo ba youth. Be sala fyo tuko tuna msokoto wane yo na kwa tama degrees competence au. No tumisepera babike ko tu youth. Utu ine to achigigi utu ailevo to kuya lala kulia kuininga ba munana PF vere tule muipale ro PF gareza mkutariga my elections. So that will create an ongoing momentum on the partnership between the government and the generation that put the government in power. They should look in the pocket of their coalition partners as to be able to bring about a balanced cabinet. There should be balance between experience and just a new dispensation. So, alanda kuntanchi.
So you're really looking at all the things that you've created there, and I really appreciate that, because Dr. Jones Kasonso, and I'm seeing comments here, people are very appreciative of your perspective. Mr. Kanika, you are a UPND foot soldier. What do you say about the speculations?
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, what I feel, first, I will agree with Dr. Kasonso over the way of choosing cabinet. I think it's high time the president also appreciated the people who were fighting with him all this time. Just there, our provincial chair in Copper Belt was jailed for 270 days, you see, in jail without his family, and he was just imprisoned for something which he didn't do. Now imagine if they leave him to be, then they come and appoint a Kanyuka, Ngombe, or Kango, sorry, a machine to say you are the minister. I think that will be something, a big problem. Then I think the other thing that's supposed to be considered, we the young people, I think we have an opportunity even to think in 2026 and 2031. But like Dr. Kazonso has mentioned, yes, young people can be given other influential positions depending with their qualifications, which they do have. But being over ambitious, sometimes it will land most of the young people in serious problem and failure for them to take up the leadership mantle that the president may prepare for them. Well, they can wait. There are a lot of other influential positions young people can take upon,
Right.
and leave maybe for cabinet purpose, because the PF has left us in a serious ditch. So you need seriously people with vigor and enough experience to help us regain the gains that we lost under the PF administration.
Right.
So we may need young people, but I feel young people can be given, sometimes give them even if possible, according to the qualification, appoint them as PS, as permanent secretaries, appoint them as directors in different institutions. These people, they have qualifications besides being UPND. So for me, that's what I feel that should be considered.
Okay. Now I see that when we speak of foot soldiers, the issue is the president's pool to pick cabinet is 156 members of parliament at the moment. We've already got 2 that came in, so 158. So those 2 are already speaker and deputy speaker. And so those are out. So 156 plus 8 nominated, which means he does not have a very long pool. It does not have a very huge pool. If we excluded all the PF, which means 59 seats are already out, and perhaps PF aligned independents, so which means now he has about 80 plus the 8 that he is constitutionally allowed to nominate. And so that's the pool of cabinet. No matter how we look at it, it's 88 people so far. We can speculate on who the 8 are, but that's pretty much it, right? So it will be those 80 plus 88, or if he wants to be a little bit adventurous, he can go and get a little bit more. And so that is where the pool is. With that, Dr. Kasonso, are you able then to bring out names, or you don't want to deal with names?
Generally, I would not like to deal with names because I'm a detailed-oriented person, and some of the people, I don't have their detailed qualifications. But I can mention some names without attaching positions. In this cabinet, I would like to see the Honorable Jack Mwimbu.
All right, Jack Mwimbu.
I would like to see the Honorable Jack Mwimbu in a strategic portfolio that does not just combine the law, but...
Okay, Jack Mwimbu, who else?
Okay, I would like to see Jack Mwimbu. I would like to see Garing Combo.
Garing Combo?
I think Garing, but unfortunately, these brothers I'm mentioning are all Tongas. But I would like to see Jack Mwimbu. I would like to see Honorable Jack Mwimbu. I would like to see Honorable Garing Combo. Mm-hmm. I would like to see Kabaf from the Alliance. Kelvin Wariafuve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to see. I would like to see. He was quite a consummate and a heavy surrogate during the elections to those provinces where Kambwiri was spreading bad news. So I would like to see KBF in that cabinet. And who else can I mention? Okay, Cornelius Muitwa is a given. I think that one is a given. Yeah, and
already you've run out of the quota because according to the president, he says that he wants to do a tribally balanced budget, a tribally balanced cabinet. Already you are out. You already exhausted the southern quota. That's a challenge.
Yeah, and those should be the core. And then they can pick others whose names I don't know and other things following the other principles. But truthfully speaking, this should be the government of Cornelius Muetwa, the government of Garin Kombo, the government of Jack Mwimbu, and the government of Kelvin Yafu. So for me, I look at these four to be the critical anchors, just based on the role they played as foot soldiers at the last. They were the ones that were really defending the cause directly to the electorate on the ground. You know, and if this government should fail or succeed, there should be a way in which these are the ones in the future to be punished. That will take so so our MI elders, you know, but about four whichever jobs they give them, I will be happy if they are there.
All right. Okay. Okay. Of course, Jack Mwimbu definitely, Garin Kombo definitely. There is a lot. I think it's going to be quite an interesting week, and we're going to come back and look at these names. Mr. Kanika, any names?
I think, Bamunsha, I concur with Dr. Kasonso, but I want also to bring in the name of Felix Mutati. I think he did play a very good job also, as he was doing a lot of campaigning in the northern region, together with the other alliance president who fought Kambwiri right, left, center. I think he need to be considered in the cabinet, though it is very difficult to know most of the. It is very difficult to have a well balanced in terms of cabinet, because if you know very well, most of the MPs for UPND from the 88, if we can say the 81 who are there, most are from Western, Northwestern, and the Southern province. So this already shows you to say the cabinet will be a little bit biased because of the MPs that are already there. And you cannot sacrifice Garin Kombo to get someone from Northern or Copper Belt because you want to balance up. I think the people will not accept that. So you need to think in that line.
People will not accept what?
You think you okay to touch the sacrifice Garin Kombo to would have been Mpundu.
Yeah. Teine yo niba hichirema abe niba gateka ebala ndoko bati cabinet is going to be deliberately balanced. If it was gana sonterefie.
Look, the word is deliberately balanced, and you try by all means to balance. You try by all means to balance, but that does not mean that it will be equal in numbers. No, some regions have more MPs.
So if Wapula, you are speculating zero.
No. Who will be the provincial?
Zero. Everybody fue mirenge 0-0.
So mnefwa bachitaruchirufya babachite bounce back as ba minister because bari wina Wapula.
Abango bachitaruchirufya omungo mwepo.
Awe Wapula balacha nominate nango ndo NF mwansa kuti ayapo. But kuti natimona kuti kwale makaleba mbala mafya na kwena kwafuma ko umu.
Yeah, this is an obvious task. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's difficult. Echo ile kokwela.
But if we did the number, if we kept at least 30 cabinet positions, because I'm for not a lean cabinet. Lean cabinet is a problem. Lean cabinet is a problem because the issue is that it's going to add a lot more pressure on the few cabinet members, firstly. Secondly, it's going to expand the influence of State House. I wouldn't want a lean cabinet. A lean cabinet is trouble. It does not save money. It creates huge problems. So currently, how many ministries do we have? 24?
Is it 24 32? Not 32.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. If
we have 32 ministries. I'm much more satisfied with that. Okay, about 30 ministries. That makes much more sense. I know that the UPND was campaigning on a lean cabinet. A lean cabinet will be very bad for our democracy. They will be very bad, very difficult to manage. It means then that State House is going to have much more influence, and so you're going to add more pressure on State House, and so you would want to have more staff at State House and create more problems. The easiest is to have a wider cabinet so that you can, they can easily provide political supervision to the government. So if we assume the 30 plus 10 provincial ministers, then you are roughly saying, following what he's saying about three ministers from every province. I don't know.
3 ministers from every province.
Ramusha, first when we look again, we should also look, yes, MPs want jobs like to be ministers and all that. Yes, on that side, but again, we need to find out who do the work at the ministries. You see, so we can have a lean cabinet and have more technocrats down there. You can have one minister having 2 or 3 permanent secretaries.
No.
Another, maybe for me, that's what I feel. But anyway, now MPs also try to say we want jobs. So it is a tricky thing actually for the president to handle this time, because MPs are crying also. We want jobs. We campaigned. We won because we want to be appointed as ministers. So
okay. No. If we concentrated on the what, the issue is when you say that you're going to have one minister. So ministers are political supervisors, basically. That's what their job is. They are political supervisors. So when you say that you are going to have fewer political supervisors, but a wider bureaucracy, that creates a problem. It creates a problem in the sense that the role of a minister is to tone down on the difficulties that are involved in the law. The reason why Zambia has politicians to supervise the civil service is so that politicians are there to tone down the harshness of the law. That's why they exist. In other words, to have political input into the governance of our country. If we left our country just to technocrats, we are going to lose it, because technocrats must go by the book. Politicians, on the other hand, they listen to the voices of the people and they implement the people's representation. If you have one minister providing political supervision to 3 permanent secretaries, you create a very huge problem. Permanent secretaries do not have accountability directly to the people of Zambia. And so because of that, they need to be under the supervision of our political representatives who are politicians. And so that would be my idea. Make it 30 as it is, and have very good ministers that are going to help implement the policies.
The other thing, Vamusha, which I wanted us to think about is also another idea to throw in. Not to let a minister of my constituencies, Yonsaya Kumushi. Kurefa kwa na minister aba mutauni, like in Lusaka Central MP, afiri aba mu cabinet na ngumtundu wa kumutundu. Dollar Central, almost said in Dollar Central Hospital. Dollar Central constituency, afiri aba mu cabinet. Kwa wako ni shuko uli omutundu wa kwe mubemu. Ni UPND wa kalabana sana na oni foot soldiers kufanya kunshi kushabe na mazoka. Ebe ne bambire na ipate.
Okay. That is understandable. Now, Now we need to then shift a little bit and look at women. Now, when we are shifting towards women, it's not because we have Gladys here, no, but it's also to realize Okwebati, the UPND adopted very few women and very few women won. And so every woman MP right now must be a minister. There is no two ways about it.
First yalabako tricky because nangubama nomination because abana kashibana mayo bala compete, for example na alliance partners abengita bayimini na MP. So mulamulika 8 na youth abengita bayimini neko. So mulamwine mulika 8 mulya mwala benkopo bwana banemboyo mwala banechinto bento mwala bempamane mwala bensanje. So many 80. I think yeah, it is tricky, and that's why the expectations are high. I understand why we must have more women, but I was so pleased that Speaker Vaide Twala Kwabana Kashivavi. Tabato, Speaker Vaide Twala Kwabana Kashivavi, Speaker of the National Assembly. At least the women are already 2 feet in.
How many women MPs do we have from the UPND, Vakaniga? Gladys, do you know how many women we have? UPND MPs?
I think if I'm not mistaken, should be 8. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so automatically all those should be in cabinet.
But now mwanafuta bana mayo ko bachenjira yaba Gladys na kare bekere pepa. But munene bana mayo ko bachenjira. Parliament munene ko bachenjira bana mayo.
Can I please say something?
Yes, Gladys, you're welcome.
Yes, I mean, as much as we can look at the women or the men, I think what we should follow is looking into the CVs, and we don't know all the cabinet CVs, who fits on what. And like in this case, when you talked about, I'm not going to put on the names apart from a few, like KBF, definitely. Like Kasonso said, that we should prioritize first the UPND members, those who have been suffering together with the president. Yes, but as you say, that we should take the alliance. Come on, Jerome. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. No to kunshinka pakanwa. I said KBF, Nawa, Garin Kombo, Mwetwa, Jack Mwimbu, Felix Mutati. And some of them, even without looking on their CVs, they're good CVs on their own. But as Mr. Kasonso said, that UPND alliance should be put the third priority. I really don't. I disagree. I think we have to look through the UPND. If I give an example of KBF as a UPND alliance, I think is a good CV to be put amongst the first priority, and then you look through who has a good CV, not just like the previous regime did, Chipante Pante. We have to fit in personalities and looking at the CVs, and also that because also that we took also the youth not on big posts, for example, but we can give them as a plan B if the elderly ones, they expire. I mean, because anything can happen. We need those youth to be as future leaders, and you can't start with somebody to say they have to have experience. If you don't give them the experience, where are they going to get the experience? So we need also to choose some of those youth to put into the cabinet, but don't put them in position like at least we have the finance minister in such kind of position. We need something. We need somebody who's more experienced.
Okay. So senior cabinet positions are as follows. Okay, so minister without portfolio, if the president decides to elevate one of the ministers to be senior, but it's usually defense, home affairs, and finance. Those are the senior portfolios.
And health.
And foreign affairs.
Home affairs garing combo. Home affairs garing.
Okay, that's fine. And so that's why we are speculating here. But my speculation is all the 8 women must be in cabinet. There is no compromising about that. That was no compromise on the 8 women. So all the 8 women should be, because they are very.
No, but then consider that the vice president, but speaker, but deputy speaker, the first lady, so for example, foreign affairs as a nominated, either nominated or permanent secretary for foreign for diaspora affairs, permanent secretary. You know, I
don't think you.
Diaspora to what
Oh, sorry.
Don't put diaspora was to wear
Professor Kasonso, you are mixing up too many things. Okay. Inena libasim mulenja fuirishako. Mwasankanya mwebintu fingi. First of all, let's draw it back a little bit. We start with women. We only have 8 women in the Bakanika. Is that you told me that we only have 8 women MPs among the 83?
8 women MPs.
Yes. So Bakasonso, those are the ones I'm saying. The 8 women MPs should be in cabinet. No sana. But if you're 8. So there is no reason why already because UPND adopted very few women in the last election.
I have a question for you on women. Sorry to interrupt you. So if among those 8 women we have Paliba Amaliflaf, ministers.
Yes. And I take great exception of going Mulanda all of you women, they milandirako. Iya idea ya kuimatinga pali bama riffraffs. Tapa bama riffraffs among the 8. And there isn't even a possibility. All the men throughout history, riffraffs have been governing. Lelo muisa mukose na mayo afiroko bana mayo ero akano kuba riffraff. All these riffraffs men that have been ruling our country. Bao naulecha. Na bana mayo.
Touch and go to let their number. We have real issues on the table.
It doesn't
our
matter.
Country. No, it matters. It matters that it matters. Abali 8 twile twaba chita scrutinize bamunsha twaba monati. Are they going to carry our flag? Are they going bale isabale landati? Can I don't want to mention names that refer by Edith Nawakwi type. No.
Imwena imweta muri ba Edith Nawakwi mudia. Muri 8 very formidable women. Ababena nimba peragale no tupoto. They are cabinet ministers. You are not going to take me away from them. These 8 women are all
comfortable bamwicha kange niba echecha balesalate.
Yeah, mwebere, it doesn't matter what you say. If you kateka, okay. Mwanjebera po naumfwa. Dr. Kashila.
Yes.
Speculations on cabinet.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, I've been intently listening to the likes of Vamwisho Vakasonso and Vakanyika spelling out what they're speculating. I have a few comments. First of all, Vamwisho Vakasonso, Mwachkwambamba, it should sort of go for reward kind of strategy where those who were in the trenches, those who sacrificed must be rewarded for, you know, all the sacrifices they made. I think Vakanyika also talked about, oh, this guy was in prison, so he deserves. I beg to differ on that. Couple of things. First, cabinet positions are positions that are political, number one. Number two, those positions are reserved for people who HH feels very comfortable working with at very, very close quarters, people who understand his vision and understand where he wants to lead the country to. So automatically,
Yes.
over the years, he's worked with the likes of Gary, the likes of Nsokotwan, the like. So those are no-brainers. Those are expected to be in the cabinet in one position or the other, whether deputy, whether full, with whatever position they may wish to be in. But again, the challenge though is that HH wants to be a little bit different from the previous governments that we've observed in Zambia, where stone throwers get position. In UNIP, that was the case. Some people just spoke the loudest, threw stones, and therefore were granted positions. I want to see a difference this time around. We are living in the 21st century. The world is very complex. We're dealing with very complex issues. Policy makers have to be fully comprehensive of the world that we live in today. So they must come with them armed with a lot of knowledge and experience. But also they need to be men of and women, by the way, of integrity. So integrity will be one of the key things. If you have skeletons, too many skeletons in the closet, whether you threw 100 stones, if a guy who's threw only one stone is better, he might put him there. I hope that's how he's looking at things. And also, there's another dimension, which is balance. Balance in terms of regional balance and balance in terms of tribal balance, because Zambia, the whole country literally worked hard for him to win this election. So in a way, he's the highest arm of government of the executive, which is cabinet, must reflect the country.
Yeah.
And must
Vadoko,
Yeah.
Vadoko,
Vamusha,
mnaingira lakini Vadoko,
briefly pakakucha simka point pakanga.
Kanika London before Bakason
then
Sabalais.
the other dimension is women. I think
Vadoko,
Bamunsha highlighted women.
Vadoko, no, not here, before she
Women,
just thought
it's not automatic that if you're an MP, you should be a minister or deputy minister. Some need one term to get used to the whole system before they, let them be backbenchers for a while. And then once we see how they argue, they might be elevated next time around. So I think it shouldn't be automatic that because there are few women, they deserve to be ministers. I think if I look broadly, I would bring in people who nobody even expected to be part of this executive to be there, as long as they're bringing something that HH thinks this will be a game changer for Zambia. Thank you.
Okay.
I rest my case.
Thank you. But Jerome Kanika, what are you saying?
Bamunsha, inena kakonkuputa Dr. Kazira, though
Yes,
it looks like
yes,
not
Makanyika.
Yeah, the issue is imwe so mlela ndati bali abantu abalirwa na ba PF right left center babapose kuwaya basharete at ma freedom fighters then abanyu abo bena because bali naka paper kukeni mwala lumbula at yo ebala mu cabinet. I think why didn't these people whom you claim they have or whatever, why didn't they stand with President Hakainde Hichilema when he was persecuted by PF? Why did these people go to prison with President Hakainde Hichilema when he was imprisoned by the PF? I think we need also to reward these people somewhere where at least the president can, yeah, for me that's what I feel. It's to be very much unfair.
Yeah.
Can I give a rebuttal to that, Bamunsha, with your permission?
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Kajila. Inende Tambakofi.
I have great respect for my brother Jeremy, Jerome Kanyika. But I think of it one, HH is trying to make a small cabinet because the smaller, the more efficient. So there are only small few spots available. So hold your horses. It doesn't mean Nikuwaya if you're not on parliament or in the cabinet. That's number one. He might want you to be in a different strategic position that will equally contribute to the country. So let's not look at if you are left out of cabinet, that means you are Kuwaya. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Can I now also submit?
Quickly, the point I wanted to correct both from Bankambu Bakajirane Neva Jerome is the word reward. I never use the word reward in any one of my submissions. I don't see being given a position necessarily as a reward because you have to go to work. You know, I see that as an opportunity, not a reward. And I said that the first group of people who should be given the opportunity to serve with the president are his foot soldiers, the original foot soldiers, the original UPND. That is the team that has been the government in waiting. The reason why I argue for this, I'll give you a quick metaphor. Mwaka Africa Cup, mwaya winero mwatsa qualify World Cup. Yanomba kwa lavo kuti ya World Cup, but balavo nsaba atere kwa Africa Cup, tabate kwa vala leta muto new talent, no tuwa professionals tumbi. Nichimule fulunga nye timu. Nimule fulunga nye timu.
Ndefu ni mwalanda, ndefu wa mulande nomba mukika onde.
Kafako mwa wina Africa Cup. Ne timu mwasenda yonse mwana timu kwa panomu ya ku World Cup mba ineva aba bajinga ku Africa Cup bafunyemo leta imo bakwa abo barepako bakanyemako burongo. No, I don't think that's the way we should construct the cabinet. The UPND I can push it. So that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't see it as a reward. We should see it as the essence of a movement. These people were together. They suffered together for a cause. They were, you know, and they are the primary team. You know, so when they go now to be able to go and deliver on something that they fought for, I think they can only be excluded if there is any specific disqualification, not just petty considerations. That is my opinion, and that might be different from yours. But I don't think that the president would be in order to leave out the long-standing people who have struggled with the United Party for National Development, who embody its ethos and who are part of its critical identity. Able to to vote any day in UPND, in number, bafire bachita prioritize nangu kufira bafira okuteka bafire bafirwa bonse. Itimu bafire ba maintainer. Then ero ba reach a supplement. We're not saying they should be the only ones, no. And we shouldn't think they are rewarding Vamposa Mabweawe. What they are rewarding are valuable players who have come a long way, who have suffered injuries, broken legs, and healed. So it is okay to include them part of the team, and in fact, that to form actually the core team, the core UPND. You know, so that's what I think. But also, there are challenges. Some may not be appointed in the first line. They can be appointed maybe when they are reshuffles and all those kind of things, all those considerations. But to discard them, it will be a mistake.
Okay. Vakasonso, I don't think that's what Doc was saying. He wasn't saying that doctor. So but Dr. Kasonso, if Dr. Kajile, if you're he's saying that you discard them. I think we are getting there, and there is an agreement here, yes, to the core UPND, original UPND people that suffered, but also yes to other players as well. But Himba Malambo, you were saying something.
No, sorry. There's a little thought that you just dropped there. We should drop the word reward, but we should use the word carrying them with him. The way he carried the guy from Kobeko, the guy who was appointed the deputy commissioner. His personal reference was the president himself. that is carrying along. It's not a reward for him. It's carrying him along to be part of the group that will provide leadership.
Okay. Thank you. But Nakariwad, to demystify this thing. Nakariwad in providing leadership, it's not just about money, but you know, the idea that you're going to serve the people. Bahimba
as a cabinet minister. Yeah, you see, we should all know that once some MPs are to vote there, the highest position they can go in right now is to be a cabinet minister. It's a privilege to be a cabinet minister. So that itself is a reward as being in cabinet and a cabinet minister.
Thank
and
you.
It's part of a good city.
Okay. I think mwalanda sana mweba ume. Bahimba malambo. Mwamo no bwafya bwaba ume bahimba. Ine bwafya nasa ngapo mba ume.
Awe tukabata manage mwisakamana.
Lete ni yesh bahimba.
Bamunsha, first and foremost, one thing we should understand is that not everyone can be in the cabinet. Whether Bali Bomba, whether Taba Bombele, at this point, as leaders, we should also understand that not every MP can be in the government. That's one thing. Secondly, my point is, as much as we want the president to push that point, Alama foot soldiers, which is a very brilliant idea, which I agree with it strongly. That point, from way back, for one simple reason. I'm sure the president, he was sharing their vision, his vision to them. So those people, they'll help him to carry his vision for the country. Vision president understand who have total confusion in the cabinet. Yes. So let the president give the priority to those who understand his vision so that they can help him to deliver the vision he has for the country. Then when we come to the young people, Ama youths nabobali bomba, we salute them. But you can never be a leader if you are never a chola boy to somebody at one point. So as much as we want young people to occupy key positions, let us also give ourselves the opportunity to be mentored. Let the senior, there's always a senior, a junior, not that you going to bite a bigger piece of meat you can't even swallow. So to feel honest for the sake of our country, and even when these positions are given, let us understand that these are the people who are going to carry the vision and the Zambian flag, not for the sake of just putting somebody. So I'm trying to agree with Dr. K. Ukulanda, my brother, it's not a reward, I agree with you. But let him have the people in the vision.
So even both of us were in one.
Thank you.
Let him have the people who are going to carry the vision with him. As much as we are saying we balance, balance, comrades, let us understand. Let's go for what is workable.
Okay.
Cabinet reshuffle. We can still serve the nation in the different portfolios and we can still come in at a later stage. Sometimes they can let us down. It may not work well with the president in the cabinet, but then we'll still bring in other Nima substitute to there as long as people are able to carry the Zambian flag. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bahimba. As always, this is TV Bakwetu. My name is Elias Monsha, together with our team that discusses every day. Sometimes we come every day, sometimes we come every other day. And so I am talking about stars. Please send stars, because if I don't talk about it, you don't send. Mulalabako. So nde mibukisha. Kushena rufianya. But we are very glad and happy with regular star senders. Keep it up, please do, because TV Bakwetu is your platform. Okay, now that we've done that little commercial break, we are going to move on to the next. But Beauty Digan, What is your opinion? What is your speculation on cabinet?
Oh, hi. Kimabanga mwani bonse mwaikara byepi.
Urongo tumwane. Urongo.
Leba mushana oba sikenga ko.
Beauty, we've lost you. Am I the only one who has lost her?
No, yeah, we lost her. We lost her.
We have lost her.
Okay. Beauty, I'll bring you back when your line is better. Pesi Chama.
I hope
here is the topic. Speculation. What is your speculation?
No, for me, there are some bits I agree with the panel, and there's some bits I don't agree with the panel. Let's just rewind a bit with the president himself. When he spoke about he needs people with proper qualifications. Yeah. So if we follow what the president said, it has to mean that it doesn't matter what part of the country you're coming from, as long as you've got the qualification to run that department. I'm sure with the numbers he's got people from each province who can run certain departments with the qualifications, not just because evaleposa sana pantanshi evo mwabika kuntanshi awe tilia kyalina bakaunda tilia kwali ba grey zulu ero twale posa amabwe ero bale posa amabwe fantu twapero after independence mwamon so badia that's the only time we can have that thinking, you know. So for me it has to be a lean cabinet. And actually, sorry, I hope I'm not stepping on your toes. That Minister of Religion, what is that for?
I don't know. Why do you have to? What? Okay. Why
are you remove pastor? Remove pastor, pano. Pan group remove pastor. So first, sorry, pastor. But the point is, what's the point of having that department or that ministry?
It's a useless.
There are certain ministries.
Yeah, it's completely
you
useless.
Can infuse. Yeah, because for example, the Ministry of Culture and Sport, you can even include religion in there if you want. You don't have to put it at the Ministry of Religion. That's wasting taxpayers' money, you know. And in terms of women. For me, because I don't know most of the women who were voted in, but I know the actual big guns, the Garin Combos. For me, Garin Combo, I would love him to be Minister of Home Affairs for one reason, because at least I would like to see what he was preaching about to put it in practice. Because there were a lot of things I was impressed with his suggestions, and so I would prefer him to be to carry that portfolio. And then is it KBM? Okay, in there at one point was a Minister of Finance. Am I correct to say that?
No. Mr. KBF has never been a minister of anything.
Okay, but okay.
Mutati, Felix Mutati.
Yeah. I mixed the two then. For me, those you can give them portfolios, because the important portfolios, let's be realistic, they have to be the people who were close to him, who are actually qualified. For example, like Home Affairs, Defense, Foreign Affairs, all those people should be people who were close. So we shouldn't be surprised. Some of them, they won't be even have good qualifications.
But look, to be an MP, you just need a grade 12 certificate. So what qualifications are you talking about?
Okay, let me tell you. Have you seen the videos which are roaming around
Rachama, also another follow-up question. What about a person who's got PhDs, whatever we can call them, then they have no experience?
Well, those are the people I heard you earlier on. One of the people said, have somebody. He becomes a number two to learn from the person who's there.
I've got a PhD. PhD is a research. PhD is a research degree. Kwanza fyo mwabika po wakwata research degree. They know how to know what they don't know. That's a very critical skill that most people don't have.
Doc, I stand parallel to what you're saying. You can have a PhD. You can have a PhD in medicine, then you have no PhD in accountancy. Finance.
Okay. My push a question in just number.
Yeah, quite.
A critical component of the PhD is research, and research methodologies are the same regardless of the field.
Can I finish? Can I reclaim my time, please? Can I reclaim my time? I finished what I was trying to say.
My point is this. The PhD is a research degree. So regardless of the field in which a person has a PhD, the critical skill of knowing what they don't know, they will have it. It is better than putting a person with any other qualification in any portfolio.
Okay.
A PhD can transcend his field very easily.
Can I reclaim my time?
No. I don't know why this discussion is. Today's discussion, Yakakana. Professor Kasonso, you had the opportunity to address us. You spoke. I think we get your point. If you wanted if you're PhD, if you're much filanda and much that whatever. So can she? I never pace chamako kanyani.
I tend to agree that qualification is therefore Japani grade 12. Tapari fimbi first grade 12.
But Bruru Jerome, let me be honest with you. Have you seen the videos which are roaming on the internet?
No.
Swearing in so it's things like that, you know. And the best example I can give you is Bowman Lusambo. Yeah, let's be a bit serious. Look at Bowman Lusambo. How did he climb to reach at that position? Huh? Secretary General, major, I can't remember, he was in the youth. You understand? It's people like that. If you start appointing people just because everybody posts a son, you end up appointing another Bowman Lusam. So let's appoint people with qualifications. Yes, from 5 but kulafwa kana utinta taumane ko bamwewa bachili balero pwefya kulundira every fly bakasoso ni ba doctor we've got doctors here, you know. Why are they getting why are they trying to educate themselves?
Do you think Bowman Samba has a grade 12? I don't think Bowman Samba has a grade 12 certificate. I doubt it.
He has a grade 12, but let's talk of integrity of someone and the natural, maybe intelligence. But the issue that
I also insist experience should be a key. If you don't have experience,
before we are the first MUP, how can you have experience? But now I think the qualification to agree at constitution to be in cabinet, you need to be an MUP, you need the grade 12 certificate. So once over that point, ni grade 12 to the run the so now.
But Messi Chama, sorry, you see, you've been the most interrupted discussant tonight. So Nshishi be why?
Awe nimbate kunya mwarabashani nimbate kunya.
Yeah, Mukelabai, please. It's your time. Don't let anyone interrupt you, Mukelabai.
Chungulopo mkwai kimanzibwani sichava sahesu, people in the diaspora and those at home. It is good to have a very healthy conversation. I hope everyone is okay. munamufunya ka leakage bonse mule ekitaka leakage ntutwalera ndatuma leakage ati ka cabinet leakage anyway natumfwe fire ekitika but ifwe tulefwaya fye abantu balya fire afinemu akirala ndabonse natwishiba but n'abasambirira nabo balikwatako ama issues for example ba PF basalire ba doctor nani bali abaletera emiti yashitanani and look how rich that person is.
My brother,
he used his doctorate to enrich himself. So how are we going to even see and trust even the people that we perceive are disciplinarian or they are intellectuals? You see? So the issue of loyalty and the issue of commitment to the party that is now in power should play a role in Hakainde's head, not just because someone has a PhD and he started preaching about UPND. Kuma last minute he didn't that's when they come in and then immediately they scoop the power and they give and Baba Pera na kafulota to the fire yo. Let people be given or to follow on merit and on loyalty. These people, if we're from Zambia, I know wants to government. That is the issue that Kahinde is trying to do away with. That it's not about you coming into government to start a living. Get into government to serve the people. But what we see today in Zambia is something else. Mukamona ma defection ambo kitanga ngaya fuma cabinet yo balasara maironga dirise. You will see a lot of chaps that are in UPND that have been in there, and if they are left out, they will start spilling out and defecting. That will require such kind of people, like Avena GPM. Imagine if we had carried on with such kind of and the vice president and the imagine what kind of a vice president was he going to be. Imagine if Kambwiri was succeeded with his alliance and went ahead and won and Akainde joined Akainde in cabinet. What kind of a person was he going to be? So Akainde na bakwata sana inchito iyakutira bafire balolesha pa loyalty, people who stood by him, people who means well to the UPND, to the government, to the party in power, the people that made it possible for him to even win. They campaigned for him. So tulefwaya tibes kasala fye ba mshani na bwali na panti na UPND namo omo tuli tumena mshani na bwali. So we don't want those chaps. Let him elect or appoint. Of course, it's his prerogative as a president. He can choose anyone. He can even go and bring someone from PF just to confuse the whole Zambian. Just to make you busy talking. Because it's his power. You see? But let us just give him time to include abantu bakwe, abalemu, those who supported him dearly, you know.
Thank you. So thank you, Mkelabai. Bakangwa. Mutingai. Bakangwa. Bakangwa. Bakangwa is not here.
Tabadipo.
Tabadipo. Rose. We have new cabinet speculation this week. Who do you think is going to be in? Rose? Okay, Rose Tabadipo. Beauty Digan, welcome back. Mutingai. Beauty.
She's muted.
Nakola mwani kujuena mwani.
Mwane. Aleni, mwachiraranda potuntutumo before you were cut. Alen.
Yeah, what I was saying was I agree with the ladies about the fact that, the women that have been, the women MPs that are in the party or that were elected should not just be chosen or should not just be given positions because they're MPs. I think we should look on merit. And if they, grade 12, I don't think we should be going for that. At least there should be a minimum of a degree or a master's degree. And not only that, people should go in these positions because they have experience in these areas. Like Wamkeleba did say, we have junior positions. I mean, people would have been a junior maybe, in that area before, and, they understand how the area works. For instance, if I was HH, I would look at Gary Combo and say, what is it that he's good at? Like that guy can do very well in defense, even though I don't know Gary's qualifications. He might have a degree or he might be a lawyer for all I know. I don't know. But look at the strongest part of that
He's
person.
a teacher, teaching degree.
He's a teacher like
History
me?
and
Okay, he
English.
started as a teacher? Okay, perfect. But Gary is Gary. He will stand up to all the bullies that he did to those, what's his name? The person I'm talking about. So things like that. I can't remember. The other thing that I hope, I hope, no, I don't really hope, no. I'll say Mr. HH, of course he's not a doctor, Mr. HH has done his homework. That gentleman is not a dummy. He has built his business empire on trust, he knows the people to put in power. He doesn't want to bring Zambia down. The promises that gentleman put into us, he wants them to go through. And therefore, I think that's why he's taking his time. But of course, we're all looking forward to this week. I can't wait. I look at his tweets every day and night, believe it or not, to see what is written. Every latest tweet, I'm looking at it. But I'm so excited and looking forward to this week. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Beauty, they can't even interrupt. You know that to be appointed as a cabinet minister, you need to be an MP. And for you to be an MP, you need to have a grade 12 certificate. So why do you suggest that other people don't have degrees should be disadvantaged? I think that would be very unfair.
Well, you know what? I think for ministers, I would rather they have a degree or a master's, at least a degree, an undergraduate degree or a master's. And there are some critical issues that somebody in grade 12 wouldn't be able to do. I'm sorry.
That's what the law says. That's what our constitution says. That's what our constitution says.
I know what I'm talking about. I head a department here, and I know what kind of qualifications that I look for in people. And, I know who can do what, believe it or not, even if it's in Canada. Yes, most of my education was in Zambia, but I have a master's degree, a master's in public health. I know what I'm looking for because I have a certificate in occupational health and safety, but they can't think, they can't think strategic. They can't make a strategic, They don't have critical thinking. They can't think beyond that certificate. So I'm sorry, really. Maybe by DC Nabashala, but an MP should have at least an undergraduate degree or a master, even a PhD, like my brother Kasonso.
Okay, Beauty, sorry. I just need to clarify something here. According to the Constitution of Zambia, an MP minimum qualification is a grade 12 certificate. And so that is what our Constitution says. It's grade 12 certificate. Cabinet is picked from among members of Parliament, which means that at the minimum, people that are going to be part of Cabinet are going to be at least grade 12 certificate. That is the minimum qualification.
But can I just say just a few words concerning that? May I?
Yes, Gladys, go ahead.
Yeah, Gladys, go there.
Beauty, we're talking about that they should minimum have a degree or whatever, a bachelor. But if you look at the previous ministers, I'll pick exactly one, specifically one person like that. This is the so-called Honorable Kambwili. Sometimes, you know, you find that there are some people who are educated, but they cannot even use the common sense. They are educated by theory. They cannot even do the practical things. A person like Honorable, I didn't see the Honorable in there. Somebody who's educated cannot even use the common sense. So in that case, you would see that there are some people who have a grade 12 certificate. They are able to think out of the box. They are able to see further ahead without even having a degree. Sometimes, depending in which position you are in, you don't really require a master's to do certain things, depending on the position, of course. So, and also we are in the democratic Zambia today. So I think people should be given equal opportunity. Well and good, if they fail in that position, then they should be chucked out. That's why they are reshuffles. Then they should be moved around to find out which position do they suit.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I just respond to that one, please?
No. I must now ask Pethias Lubinga to give us his input. Pethias?
Amuncha, as Pethias is coming, I want him to consider this as well. Please, as much as we want people abasambidila in these positions, let's look at our setup in Zambia. A person like ama MPs abafuma kwati kushangombo, which kankata, can they have the privilege? Most of our MPs, they don't have the privilege of having those degrees we are talking about. And I think we may make it difficult for the president to look for those, because most of our MPs, abakwatama degree. That is just my personal opinion.
No, Vahimba. Okay, thank you very much for that, Vahimba. Pethias Lubinga, what's your contribution? We can't hear you, sir. Pethias, we can't hear you.
Unmute yourself, Pethias.
No, there's something wrong. I try to come back later. There is something wrong with your thing. Avaros.
Vamusha tekumika tapakano. Tufire again three mwana na kuma university abantu bafuma because mambo nkunda tawa ma degree tatotoka wile kanchi. Ma university bafuma ko na yena mna tipsha fuye bashara mu Zambia. Yabashani. Yamjoko yaba mulumu shani for shani flow. Okay dadika.
Varos.
Okay.
Cabinet speculations.
When they have spoken. What you're saying, a lot of people have spoken. You know, the thing is that they have to have the balance, like the way we are talking about the women. But you know, the thing is that they can choose them to be ministers, but are they gonna debate in the parliament when they have topics? For example, maybe they can't even express themselves like women we know, like the women I know, the MPs, they are good, and men, they are good. So the thing is that they have to stick to the people who are with HH in time of hard times. Because in Gavali Lusa, in Gavali Baseka, number since now we now want to know MPs. And you know, like the way Jerome, like the way Dr. Castro said, you're not gonna be left abantu bakabashekuwaya. No. They can put you in a different department. It doesn't mean everybody wants to be the minister. Okay, the people who voted, everybody wants to have a position. Who is gonna work for who? And who is gonna serve the citizens? That's the thing you have to understand. The same as at work, there's cleaners, there's this, there's what, and that. You know, the only thing the president have to think to have ministers. We don't want ministers like although he's half of my bululus. He's a thief. We don't want him to be minister again because he continues whatever he's doing. And you know, like he wants to put people who are capable to save the citizens. That's the only thing I can say. Bango bakabolala bapompe mushira salenu. So we don't want people that way the way they used to. They used the way kubale yanga sheni ya kwati bale ya mkosa the toilet. So we want people who can serve the citizens. Not everybody, because in their head, people are thinking, I'm going to be a minister, I'm going to make a lot of money in their head. Because we are different. That's the only thing I can say.
All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And so what I'm going to do here is, we have so many people that want to still come in, but we've run out of time. And so we're going to keep this running, but it's going to run in the background. Okay? But we've got to end our broadcast so that we keep our broadcasts very, very manageable, but the discussion continues. Thank you very much for having joined us today. This has been TV Vakwetu, and we are from very different parts of the world. Here in Calgary, some are in Europe, others are in America, and then others are in Chuempala and everywhere else. Thank you as usual. We are going to come back tomorrow, and we are going to continue with some of the topics that we have. This has been the most ungovernable discussion that we've had in a very long time. But please believe me, it has been fun all along. And thank you very much, TV Vakwetu family. Let's carry on our discussion beyond the live. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless our country.